55 mile Anglesey Coastal Circuit. It gets underway now, and it's not a very good start from Eddie Moyer from the outside of the front row of the grid, so he's going to lose a place to Jonathan Listeter. Pole position driver Danny Andrew and reigning champion, he holds the lead as they go through turn 1 and towards the banking for the first time. Listeter second, Moyer third, David Winter is fourth, Lucas Batt is fifth, and Samir Abid is there in sixth position as they stream around the banking for the first time, heading towards the right hand of a church, flat out that corner, and then they will continue to accelerate their way up the hill. And of course these Ma7da 7s with low-cost chassis and bodywork, very little in the way of aerodynamics, so they make for very effective slipstreaming vehicles. There's Lucas Batt coming up on the inside of David Winter, but having to get out of that move slows him up a little bit, might put him into the clutches of Samir Abid there. Yes, it does. Samir Abid in the 23 car, who retired from yesterday's race, he goes through on the inside and up into 5th position, and it means the top 4 make a bit of a break.
Yeah, that's right, although if it's like yesterday's race, they came back together somewhat. I think we had about 7 cars in the lead battle yesterday. And it's Danny Andrew here that leads, the champion from last year. Twice a winner this season. Hasn't won though since Pembroke. The only time he's won so far this year was at Pembroke, which was in June. He won twice that weekend. As the field come through then into turn 1. Listeter, championship leader, sideways. There's a big old tank slapper off the corner. So that gives Eddie Moore the chance to go around the outside, but he slides wide now. And that means it's really all spread out up front because of all that. And Moyer struggling off the corner because of that big slide. He loses third to David Winter.
Yeah, and it means it's a big-ish lead by Ma7da 7 standards now for Danny Andrew, number 27 in the lead of the race. He finished second ultimately yesterday after a very exciting contest for these cars. Lucas Batt, who was going very well yesterday, finished in 5th place yesterday. He's looking to reclaim 5th here by getting back ahead of Samir Abid. You've got Martin Shelton there in 7th place. That's the grey car with the pink roll cage. And there's Ben Powney in 10th place. He was a non-finisher yesterday, so good that his car is back out there, but not where we'd expect him, because he was battling until the final round of the championship last year with Danny Andrew for the title.
That's right, and he won for 3 times this season, which all came on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. But here, struggling, so not sure if all is well with the car. It's run by Team Sellers Racing, and last time out was in the hand of Autosport's Stefan Mackley.
Indeed, yes, and you can read about that in the current issue of Autosport, still available at all good news agents, as they say. So, heading on to lap 3 of the race. It's Andrew leading. This is the battle for second. It has got itself close together again. Listeter and Winter and Moyer, who's up the inside of Winter this time. He's actually tucked back in behind, though, as they head through Church. That is a place where you do see some overtaking being done. Moyer carries good speed off Church corner, almost bump drafting with Winter there. He's going to use the toe, come out of the toe now, in fact, and try and get alongside Winter and try and outbrake him into Rocket. Is this going to work for him? He carries a lot of speed in, he locks up the brakes. He is through though, so Eddie Moyer, the Lincolnshire farmer, goes up into 3rd place behind Listeter. But Danny Andrew was nearly 2 seconds clear at the end of the lap. They can see Simon Court, he's in 8th place, number 55. That's the black and white car. He yesterday was going well, wasn't he? But then eventually was a retirement from the race. So here's the 2nd, 3rd and 4th place cars heading down through the corkscrew, and just seeing how big Danny Andrews is. It is still quite sizable actually. It's still a couple of seconds or so, as now Moyer is challenging Listeter there. New fastest lap for Danny Andrew, 1:17.88, and that's faster than we saw in yesterday's race, and a new lap record therefore.
Yep, that's right. Here's that battle for 2nd place. Eddie Moyer there in 3rd. He was a winner last time out at Silverstone. His first win in cars, his first season of car racing for the former Carter. His livery on that car is a bit takes you back to the late 90s McLarens, doesn't it, with the name on the side in that form. And he draws up alongside Listeter here. So if Listeter loses places, that'll do a favour for Danny Andrew, because he's the main rival to Listeter this year. Jonathan Listeter, who's only finished off the podium once all season. He's had a 1st, a 2nd and a 3rd 3 times as well. So there his point scores, really, they're all in the podium position, so he's been really consistent all year, has Lister. So he's dropped down to third now. Then David Winders, Ma7da doing a good job there in fifth, and it's three abreast at the back of this group, involving Martin Shelton in the middle, Ben Powney on the outside, and Shelton might lose both positions because on the inside went Daniel Court, on the outside it's gone Ben Powney. So for Martin Shelton there, he lost a couple of positions.
Yeah, so he's really lost out on that lap as well. He'd also lost a position to Simon Court since the start of that lap as well. So he's gone back down to 10th place, I think. Another new lap record for Danny Andrew, a 1:17.63. That's nearly 72 miles per hour average around this very twisty indeed 1.55 mile Anglesey coastal circuit. So pretty good effort that from him. Meanwhile, up towards second place, I can see that Eddie Moyer is now getting away from Jonathan Lister, but I'm not sure he'll be able to latch onto the back of Danny Andrew because he's 3 seconds up the road. Lister third, Winter fourth, and then we can see actually Winter and Lister doing battle here. Winter up the inside of Lister into Rocket 1. He'll be on the outside line then for the Rocket 2. You've got two very tight corners, one after the other. Lister manages to hold on there, but look at that. Ma7da is coming into the equation as well in the number 23 car. Used to race in low cost as well, did Samir. Now has this data development business. He's a race engineer and driver coach from Leamington Spa. We've now got a safety car out. Safety car is out, Josh. Yellow flags, and that is the reason why. It's the number 88 car that is stopped, and that is Peter Wood. Looks like he's had a spin there, and the safety car's now left them to it, so the safety car's going to get back down here, but there's now only a lap time left to go in the race, and so it should be much at the speed Dan is going, we might not get one more lap out of this. He is starting to accelerate now, I think, as they head down through the corkscrew. Yes, I think words might have been added if we'd come to a virtual stop. So the race about to get back underway with the green flag, with 57 seconds left on the clock. So it's Danny Andrew leading. He's got Eddie Moyer right behind him now. Jonathan Lister a bit napping there, I think, because he's several lengths behind him in third place. And you'd think, with a championship at stake, you'd want to take every advantage that you possibly could.
Yeah, he didn't seem to have got the pace today, has he? Where he won the race yesterday, his fastest lap's a full second slower than what Danny Andrew managed. Lucas Batt here, side by side with Simon Court. So that's Court gone down the inside, and Ben Powney's going to make it free abreast as they go up towards Church Corner. And Powney still side by side. Lucas Batt, they've got the best of them three.
Checker flag is being made ready, so this is the last lap of the race. We've got the two leaders together then as they head up towards Rocket. It's going to be Eddie Moyer on the outside line, Danny Andrew on the inside. Moyer trying to stick all the way around the outside. They're both off onto the runoff. Moyer onto the grass as well, but he has got his nose in front, but he was off the circuit, we did so, but so was Andrew Fair. And here comes Lister now. What was I saying? As onto the grass goes Danny Andrew at the exit of Peel. Lister was in the perfect position all along, and he's gone through to take the lead of the race. There's only a couple more corners to go now, down through the corkscrew. Who's going to be second, I think, is the battle now. It's Moyer and Andrew side by side. And you can hear the screech of the Yokohama tyres as they come through. It is going to be Andrew that holds on, but it's Jonathan Lister then that snatches that victory. The final knock-ins really on that one last lap before the checkered flag. Jonathan Lister gets the win from Danny Andrew in second place, Eddie Moyer in third, David Winter fourth, Ma7da fifth. Lucas Batt held on to sixth place with Ben Powney up to seventh in the end. Simon Court eighth, Daniel Court ninth, and Martin Shelton rounding out the top 10. So it was just a one-lap dash for it. I think Danny Andrews continuing on, actually.
He looked pretty fed up when he took the checkered flag.
He did look fed up, but I'm not sure why particularly. Obviously, we couldn't have the last lap ball being shown necessarily because the green flag was being waved at the same time.